And the intro.
Are we live?
Yes, sir.
Hanging with my comic book brothers, picking out our favorite Superman covers, finding my best 10. Took all afternoon, made me realize I need to clean up my comic book room. Can't wait to see what they picked for Superman art. But don't forget to read Joe's comics because they make you smart. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Yoo-hoo.
Nice.
All right. That's the best intro I ever had on my channel.
Oh, by
I feel
far,
smarter
by
already.
far. By far.
All right. Well, let me what is it? Say hi to the chat. Had to be here for the fantastic folk. Yeah.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Jackson.
Hey,
Jackson.
Jackson.
John Stout. Hey.
Batman. I'm sorry, it's a Superman show today, John.
buddy.
John's my local buddy.
Aaron.
Hey,
Aaron.
Hey, Jim.
Jeffrey.
So we should say that Higgy's just an honorary old guy. He
Yeah.
doesn't really fit
Yeah.
the old guy thing
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah, he's
I
not
feel
old
it-
enough to be an old guy who loves comics. Yeah.
Come
But-
on now.
But he seems like he has the taste of an old guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's got an old soul. Let's put
Old
it that way.
soul.
Yeah.
you also.
He's got
Yeah,
a youthful body,
really
but,
did.
old soul.
Very old soul.
Hey, Kirby, welcome, buddy. All right. So, long ago,
Yes, very long ago.
long ago,
I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah, Nauman, Sleepy, and I said, hey, we are big Superman fans. Let's come up with a top 10 our Superman covers. And then Nauman had, some issues, etc. And then we said, who else would, fit the mold who's a big Superman fan? Of course, we all said at one point together, Hickey Pop Comics.
Thank you.
So here we are. And what we're going to do is we're going to start round robin style with our 10th. Now, Nauman's is not in any order, but we're going to count down from 10 to 1. We're going to talk about it for a minute or two only, guys. And then, why did we pick this cover? What distinguishes it from any other, right? And then we go to the next guy and on down to number 1. So you in the chat, if you have comments about your favorite covers or comments about the covers we're going to show, please feel free to put them in the chat and we will look at it and say thumbs down, thumbs up, hey, pretty good job, I don't like another one, whatever. All right,
Are we going to go around in a circle, each showing one, then another?
correct. We're going to start with number 10 and then
I actually like this idea. Who is the eldest? Maybe youngest go first. Is Higgy the youngest?
Higgy's
He's
the youngest.
the youngest. I'm the oldest. I don't know who's older between you and Roger.
Nauman's a little older.
Okay.
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 All right. So we'll start with number 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him go first then.
Did you figure out an actual ranking? I guess I didn't do that. I could quickly.
You don't
didn't
have
really
to.
do it.
I
I
didn't
didn't
do
do
it.
a ranking either. I didn't do a
kinda
ranking either.
but you don't have to. Don't worry.
But this is I doing this. I come to find out I really like Nick Cardy. All right, and I didn't realize that as much as I thought I did. I love Nick Cardy,
Mhm.
and this is a Nick Cardy from '75, and I remember getting this a long time ago because I was just enamored with that football player, the invisible football player, right? And I gotta say, Superman, I have a huge debt of gratitude to Superman. You know, like I just got to say, he helped me out. He helped me out. We all go through tough times, and he, you know, I was in a dark place at one point, and when you're in a dark place, you don't want to come home and look at a gray toned Batman comic where he's brooding in the alley. He got a nice color palette, and I was sick of it, and I wanted to get cheered up. And Superman did it for me when I couldn't do it myself, you know. And I really appreciate that about him. And he shows us, you know, the best of all of us. He really does, and that's what helped me at one point. And it started with books like this that were just no deep, dark, brooding secrets. It's just fun colors and his morality. All right. And his real superpower is his I would say his his rigorous forgiveness. He doesn't condemn a whole group of people or a country because the government hates them or nothing. And he looks for the best in everyone. And I needed that. I needed that kind of outlook at some time in my life. And just like these shirts, if I was having a bad day or I was getting ready for a day that I thought was going to be pretty trying, I'd wear a Superman shirt and it would help me. So this is what this kind of stuff did for me. And I'm very appreciative to this Superman. I know he's not a real person, but he was to me. So this is my number 10.
Well done. Well done.
He's a phantom quarterback.
Well done. Yeah, man. Well done. Well done. Excellent. Excellent.
Hello.
Well, let me just say that we did not plan this. We do not know which comics we have here. But as a coincidence, my number 10 is Superman 264 by Nick Cardy. I tell you, I have a stack here, and I'm just taking it from the top.
I told you we were going to hit the double.
I didn't think we'd be this soon.
I find that very odd.
I mean, Higgy, right? We didn't know. We had no idea, right?
When you were at Higgy's garage, did you put spy cams in?
No, I did.
Now you're following everything he does.
And let me tell you, the reason I really like this cover, first of all, this is the first appearance of Steve Lombard, who was the sports caster. And
he gets hurt.
He gets hurt, right? And he goes through this radiation treatment. And because of that, you know, he creates this radiation clone.
Yeah.
And, you know, at first, you know, they're sort of trying to figure out, hey, you know, he wants to be like this guy, but, you know, then he starts doing things that hurt people. And so Superman has to intervene. But it doesn't look exactly like this. It's in the cover inside, it's more like sparkly things, but I really like the negative space aspect of this cover. You know, where you see that he's got like no ankles, no wrists, and no face, things like that. And Superman recoiling like that, I think was just well done by Cardy.
Yes.
Absolutely spectacular cover. So Higgy, you and I, we're Superman brothers here, boy, because of this cover.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. Is it my turn?
Yep.
All right. Well, we started with, since we did it with our birthday order, this is a special because it's my birthday cover.
There you go.
Oh.
And it happens to be a pretty neat cover because I actually like what is that? Arthurian Legends.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Knight from Arthurian Legend, and where Superboy goes back into the past and meets the Knights of the Round Table and all that good stuff. So, and I think this, I mean, they don't say it, but I think this is a first appearance of a Black Knight in DC comic book.
Possibly, yeah.
Coming over from Marvel.
Yeah.
The Knights of the Round Table was a big trope for a while back then, especially in World's Finest.
Yeah, I always love. That's why I like Superman, Lois Lane, and that's why I like their, because they always revisit those old literatures and the legends and the religion, whatever. I mean, and that's the type of comic book cover that I like to collect. So there. What is it, John?
Nice.
Excellent.
And I think boys back then, probably not now, grew up reading about the Knights of the Round Table and Camelot and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly.
So I thought I'd start with this cover, which to me is super iconic, of
Ooh.
Superman with his giant key opening the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
I love the Fortress of Solitude. I love all the little details about Superman, not both that he's the first superhero and he stands, for always being good, but also just all of the little bits of mythos or mythology around him. And I love that. I always love the idea of this giant Fortress of Solitude that he has. So, and this is a cover by Nick Cardy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nick Cardy won this round, that's for sure.
I was going to grab that one too, Damien. Very good.
Excellent choice.
I have 2 copies of it, but I guess you already have one.
I do.
Excellent choice. Excellent.
All right, let's go to Higgy again.
All right. We're jumping to Justice League, issue number 63. All right. And believe it or not, that's Mike Sikowski, who was just baffled me. I did not know he could draw so good, and especially Superman on a cover. And this is one of the best Superman covers in a Justice League of America that I could ever see, from that first volume. Yeah. And I love the story. And I don't know. It's Mike Sikowski. You're used to the early Justice League art on the interiors, and you're like, oh well. Yeah. But I love this Superman. He's angry. It's like he's in the scene of Roadhouse. He's ready to kick butt and take names, man. And Superman's not really like that. You know that.
Yeah.
So that cover really pops, though.
Yep.
This cover I always like to go back and look at this. I
definitely didn't get that because I collect evil Superman covers. So.
Yeah.
And there's everyone just laid out.
Yeah, that's the best Sikowski cover I've ever seen, to say the truth, because his Metalman stuff was pretty bad.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, I'm next. All right, so I'm going now to one of my favorite teams, Legion of Superheroes, in Adventure Comics 350, a Kurt Swan cover, and note this is when Supergirl and Superboy were both part of the Legion. And here you can see that there's tears in their eyes because they have to leave the Legion. And
yes,
yeah.
And the story is just heartbreaking, but it's necessary, right? Because I'm not going to spoil it, but there are reasons for it. But again, Kurt, I love the Rocket Clubhouse back here, and the couples forming in the background, and them, just in tears. The emotive here is really great by Swan. He was to me, he was like the definitive Superman artist in the late golden and silver age. So to have this kind of impactful cover, them leaving the Legion was quite daunting to me when I saw the cover, and the story is just as impactful. So that's my number 9.
Nice
All
one.
Right. Okay, now before Superman, because I can afford Superman in Korea, right? I can afford to. But we didn't get to watch Superman, but we did get to watch Popeye. And
yeah,
don't tell me that's not Popeye, okay?
No. That's a great one.
Yeah, Captain Strong. Yep, Captain Strong. Yeah.
Captain Strong. Don't tell me that's not a Popeye, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shoot. Okay. Because Roger don't like seeing the, you don't like seeing this.
I'll let it pass for today. No,
but Fantastic Fit, Captain Strong. So
that's Nick Cardy too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Nick Cardy. But Superman and Popeye, I mean, they're in the same boat to me. Except Popeye got to have a spinach.
Right. and Superman cannot have kryptonite. That's the like yin and the yang there. Yeah.
I know it's not Popeye. I mean, but I'm saying it's a Popeye. Okay.
All right. Here's a Neil Adams cover. I could have almost done 10 Neil Adams covers.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But this is sort of part of the fun of Superman, this attempt to, like, how can we replace Superman? And of course the oh no, he's dead kind of stuff. But I just love this line of wannabe Supermen.
Yeah.
I think they're from Candor.
It looks like us. It looks like us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, don't we wish? Don't we wish?
So anyway, I just love the way Neil Adams composes covers, and it's both sort of serious and fun. They all look so serious, but it's kind of a fun cover anyway.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one. And this is I'm shooting to Neil Adams right now with number 8. This is 361 of Action Comics. This is like the second. This is the return of Parasite, and you can see Superman's got the black eyes, and this one really got to me because it shows the vulnerability. I mean, Parasite really takes it to him every time in the early times of the story writing. And
man, it looks like Superman's really getting beat up there.
He's all lumped up. He looks like Stallone. And
cut me.
Yeah, I can't see too good. So then it's not a really big battle inside, but the cover is way better than what happens on the inside. But this was a good one. I liked it. I like the how Neil Adams catches him with the old overhand.
Yeah, left hook.
Yeah.
Nice, Higgy. Nice job. Nice. All right. So let me just make it clear that we're talking about Superman covers, not necessarily Superman related stories inside. Okay.
Right.
So that's why I'm choosing Commandy number 29.
Oh yeah.
As my number 8, right?
Good call.
Even though although this has a lot to do with Superman, he's not named Superman in the story. He's named the Mighty One.
Yeah.
But it's a very clever story. Kirby is it's like a love letter to, all the Superman mythos inside. Absolutely adore this issue. It is clever. It is impactful. It just shows you that his legend and his feats will carry on way into the future, even in a dystopic future, because of how powerful his the way that he presented himself in society as a good guy, as a helper, and not as a hindrance, will pay dividends. Even though he's not included in the story, his actual the power of his aura, of his mythos, is the one that carried the day here. And having an ape fly through the air and try to be Superman is just, you have to see it. You just have to see it. So that is my number 8, Kirby.
I remember my childhood story when this is the only thing I remember is that this kid jumped off the building and died off the building because that back then you just put a red cape on and you fall, and you think you can just fly,
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
You gotta have the shirt on. You gotta have the shirt on.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, don't listen to us.
No.
Don't do it, kids.
Trampoline.
Now, I say right at the beginning, we probably run into Neil Adam doubles, but I don't know.
Not yet.
Yeah, this is a Neil Adam cover. I think this has a first appearance of I forgot the name of the person, but this is one thing I like about Superman covers. Always has occasionally would have a photo background.
Yeah.
and then you put Superman in front of the photo. So
Yeah.
and
And that's Neil Adams also, I believe.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Classic.
classic.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, going in the opposite direction, the
Yeah.
really fun side of 1960s Superman just gives me a huge kick. I think more as an adult than it did when I was a kid. But
Absolutely.
I probably should have taken this out of the Mylar. But anyway, Supergirl is like a devil witch, black magic Supergirl. And so it's just fun. And I don't know. I like that Superman can just be fun and not serious all the time.
Good one. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I like that one.
Point. Good
This
point.
is by Kurt Swan and George Klein.
Yeah, that's when Supergirl has the little horns on her head, right?
Yeah, she has little horns there.
Yes.
Yep.
You know,
And an evil
Superman
smile on
covers
her face, and she's stirring her pot with a pitchfork.
Right. That's like eating soup with a fork.
Yeah, it's very ineffective.
Unless it's a very chunky stew.
Yeah.
There was a period where they liked devil imagery. I'm not sure what was going on in society at that time,
Yes.
but there's a bunch of devil covers.
Yeah.
And there's the one where Lois Lane marries the devil.
The devil. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Namen, we are on number 7. And like Damien said, I, in my elder age, so much appreciate the silliness, and I need to represent my man Kurt Swan. And here it is, Superman, just taking it to himself, right? And it's just stuff like this. Every man, I must say, has like a voice in his head that that tells him not to do stupid things. And if you're married, that's you have 2 voices in your head that tells you not to do stupid things, like to jump out of a plane or quit your job to become a mime, or just whatever.
Oh man.
Or sharing my thoughts. But there you go. I think those are great, and I could have picked a number of dozens of this type of stuff that I love. But Kurt Swan just represented Superman for a long time, and he did a great job. It's stylish, it's just so stylish, and a little Norman Rockwell-ish, and just good old Americana.
Man.
All right.
That
You gotta
reminds
love
me
that
of
image.
your childhood
Gotta
there,
love it.
being hit with iron rods.
Yeah. All right. My next cover is also Kurt Swan from Action 386. And if we had a fifth, this could be us guys. But it is the retirement home.
I know.
I almost picked that one.
I got it in my stack.
And
Sorry,
come on. I mean,
we didn't to put you into a retirement home already.
you young guys in the chat, you guys can't relate to this, but this is us in about a decade or so.
Yeah.
But I just love the fact that again, these are not in canon or anything like that, but that Superman, it says here that he's outlived his usefulness.
And those are other superheroes in there.
And there are other superheroes from other planets here as well who are in the same boat, So I can really relate to this at some point, because, in my elder years, I'm sure at some point I'm going to say, all right, that's enough. That's it. I am going and I'm just retiring from everything, but not from YouTube, and certainly not yet. But I just thought I could really relate to this cover at my age of 60.
Classic.
All right. I have to explain this. Back in 1974, that's when I first came to the United States. Okay, so I didn't speak the language, and I always knew about Superman. I never knew about Shazam, and I thought, wow, Shazam is my next favorite character, right? So I thought until recently, I thought this was a Superman versus Shazam cover.
Captain Thunder.
Captain
upset.
Thunder. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's an awome book.
It's a very thinly veiled Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I'll go. Oh, why is he not the Suzanne? But it's happened to be different alternate universe type thing.
Yeah.
So why you guys have to teach me English, and why do you guys have to teach me about comic books, guys? I mean, why you guys doing that?
Come on.
I love the way they're just rushing right at each other, just like the collision is imminent. That great cover.
Okay, here's a cover relatively modern.
Yeah, right.
From what, 1986 or 87. I love this image of Darkseid holding Superman.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think they really, when they got around to really making Darkseid a Superman villain, that was a nice step.
Yes.
And Superman, well, for me, when John Byrne came on, it got interesting again. So I wanted to represent that period. But I particularly, this cover really pops for me.
That was one of my possibilities right there. Yep.
And the conflict between him and Darkseid is still pops up all the time now. I think that John Byrne started it, but I'm not positive. But anyway, love that cover.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Cool
Great
stuff.
story too.
Yeah.
All right. Now I believe we're at 6, everyone.
Young man has to keep the count because us old guys can't.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
I'll handle this.
Yeah. Whatever.
We're back to Nick Cardy, and that's just a great all-out Superman cover.
Yeah.
All right. And who can beat Superman? More Superman. And what it is, it's a Brainiac. This came out in 1972. It's a Brainiac villain type of story, and he's inside. They're not corporeal. They're more phantom Superman. But the cover is just fantastic. And the yellow cover with all the Supermen, it just pops.
And how, man?
It's raining Superman.
Wow. Nice choice, Higgy. Nice choice, buddy.
What is called this is the Doppelganger Deluxe?
Doppelganger Deluxe?
Doppelganger Deluxe. That's issue number 418, if I should wear my glasses, I think. 418 or 413. Whatever.
One of those curved letters at the end, yeah. Good stuff. All right. So my number 6 is only the cover that matters on this, because it's actually the cover is a reprinted from Superman number 14, but I have it as a treasury. Superman celebrates the bicentennial.
You took my treasury. Awesome.
Fred Ray cover, again from the Golden Age, and although inside there's really no Superman story, it's Tomahawk, I believe.
Tomahawk.
Wait, he's telling the story.
But it's not about Superman per se.
No.
But look at this, guys. Come on. You have the shield with the American flag symbols. You have the eagle on his arm. You have the bicentennial 1976. Yeah. I mean, this is as iconic as it gets.
It's got all the presidents on the back.
On the back, correct. Up to that point, yeah. So yeah, I mean, when I got this treasury, I was like so excited about seeing Superman. But anyway, the cover though is absolutely spectacular, just as iconic as it gets.
Yep. Fred Ray, good one.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Now, finally, we're on a Lois Lane cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love space covers. Just like Fat Stack Rob, he loves the helmet. The ladies in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The helmet cover. And I finally figured out why Superman could not hear these guys talking about how he tricked Superman. Because in space, there's no sound.
That's right. Doesn't travel.
Superman holds his
that
breath.
isn't always true.
Superman holds his breath in space.
Let's see. All right.
Beautiful image, though.
Yeah.
So because of that cover, Nam and I've switched order slightly. Because here's another Lois Lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this
That's
represents
Superman
the
right
classic
there.
goofiness of Superman and Lois seem to hate each other as much as they love each other.
I mean, yeah. Do they love each other or do they hate each other?
It's a love
He's
hate
literally grinning while he kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah,
old trick.
Superman. Sorry.
That's like the old trick when you're drinking out of the garden hose. You keep kinking it when someone's drinking out of the garden
Right.
hose. Yeah.
Superman snapped my air hose because I won't marry him. He's committing the perfect murder.
You don't
But
marry me,
again,
I
I
kill you.
love the Neil Adams covers. This isn't. There's so many good Lois Lane covers. I had to mostly hold myself back, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll do a Lois Lane video someday soon.
The problem with this
Oh,
video
yeah.
is not
Well,
getting your top 10,
That'd be
honing into your top
awesome
10.
to do
Yeah.
Lois Lane.
All right, we're at number 5, fellas,
5. It's
and
going pretty quick.
this is Action Comics issue number 200. This is an
Whoa.
old Native American
Whoa.
cover with their. He has to do a test to be a warrior, Superman. All right, and he's walking through the line of Braves, and they're hitting him over their head with their hatchets. And the thing is, this is a Win Mortimer cover. Okay. And talk about Win Mortimer is like he's a simplistic artist, but it's very Norman Rockwell-ish. He did a lot of the he did the Spidey super stories, like the Electric Company stuff.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
That
know
kind of stuff. And this cover, I always loved this cover. This was a beauty. And,
Wow.
and
I've never seen that cover before. That's
in this
Yeah,
story.
I don't think I've seen it either. It's a
Yeah,
great
there's like an
composition.
evil medicine man that Superman has to deal with.
Is there any other? Are there any others?
But he wins him over. He wins him over.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's issue number 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Excellent. Never seen that. That's spectacular. Spectacular. I was hoping I would see something like that I had just never seen before and just fell in love with. All right. So here's another iconic cover, but a more modern one from '87. Damien showed Superman number 3. I'm showing Superman number 8.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I tell you, this image he used for Fantastic Four with the Gladiator holding over the Thing. So it's a similar cover to that. But here, Superman just shows how incredibly powerful he is. He dispatches the whole legion of superheroes out of here. I mean,
It's
just
another Superman being evil, huh?
oh, it's more complicated than that. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
but look how powerful it is. One arm there, and then holding the remnants of Brainiac 5 here. Just as powerful a cover as you will see. And as a Legion fan, I saw this on the rack. I couldn't grab it fast enough. So that is my number 5.
That's a good one.
My turn?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
You don't know the order
fast.
right
You guys
now?
know- Yeah,
I
people
got
going
you.
so fast. Hold on.
Yes, we are making good time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because we have a lot more to show.
That's right.
I have 20 extras if we
Me
want.
too.
I have a few extras. Yeah.
So
That's a good one.
I love anything that has a biblical story, like a Arthurian story. Just like Arthurian story. This is Samson and Delilah, Muhammad, right? So,
Wow.
like Lois being mean to Superman, now it's time for Lois to be mean to Superman.
Wow.
Well, and surely the Samson story was a precursor to Superman, and his hair getting cut is like kryptonite for Superman.
Yep.
Perhaps.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that was one of the influences. But
Oh, the cat.
the cat one getting the action.
Millie.
Yeah.
Millie, yes.
Hey, Millie.
She
Meow,
calls
meow,
up
meow,
Mickey
meow.
every now and then. I had several Jose Garcia Lopez covers that I was contemplating,
Oh.
and in the end, I picked this one, which almost has a Bernie Wrightson vibe.
It does.
Wow.
That was a
Yeah.
great storyline, right?
The art on the inside is very disappointing.
Oh.
It's sort of Kurt Swan in his later days where he doesn't really
Hmm.
have it as much. But I just love this cover. And I love monsters, and the thought of Superman versus monsters seems a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And those
Yes.
teeth are about to snap off if he tries to.
You would think so, yeah. I can't
Yeah.
remember what happens inside. I just flipped through and remembered that the art on the inside was a little bit of a letdown.
That'd be funny if that occurred. You know.
Yeah.
Vampire
Or
bite
Superman's
Superman.
another weakness is the supernatural, right?
Yes,
the magic.
magic,
Natural.
yeah.
So maybe a vampire could bite him.
All right. We are at number 5.
5.
All right. This came out in November of '68. This is a World's Finest.
We'll hit again.
And I mentioned earlier how Superman, one of his powers is forgiveness. And right here, he is not showing it. There's our boy Batman, Mr. Gloom and Doom. And this is Neil Adams and Gaspar Saladino. Woo-hoo!
Oh.
And it's just very imposing. Superman is just treating him like a rag doll.
I think this is number 4, Hickey, because I have 6 comics behind me.
I think you could be correct.
So you guys, both of you guys, 2 young men are wrong.
I'm not good at numbers.
Hickey just wants to prolong it. I know him.
Yeah. So
Great
there
stuff.
you go, man.
Great stuff. The Batman press, I tell you. Can't go wrong with that one. All right. So here I'm going with a very sentimental pick. Superman pre-crisis, his last pre-crisis appearance was a 2-issue story written by none other than Alan Moore, believe it or not.
Yep.
And it illustrated, as, the classic Kurt Swan, Murphy Anderson. But I'm going to pick action number 583, where he is leaving the Daily Planet, and down here his friends and superheroes
We'll miss you.
just so so prescient of what's about to occur. And then of course crisis occurs and Superman is rebooted, but this is the last one of the Superman that we knew from the Golden Age all the way through the Bronze Age. This was his last one. Kurt Swan, great job there.
Yeah.
Iconic pose with the arm extended, the cape flowing in the back, and of course all those guys there on the roof of the Daily Planet.
And Crypto chasing after girl.
Down here,
Yeah.
Crypto right there with chasing the girl. Yeah,
And Superman's all sad.
yeah. Of course, look at the face. You
Yeah.
can tell it's kind of like an ambivalent kind of look, but you can tell he's holding it in. That's
Yes.
Superman though.
I never get that kind of treatment when I quit jobs. That is a great presidency. All right. So this is I just recently got this book. I always wanted this book because I'm just as curious as Los. I'm curious, Black. I know it's
Oh boy.
a little controversial, but I read the book and I don't know why. I don't know. If it wasn't so controversial, it would have been cheaper on my pocket,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
right.
Because it was controversial, I had to pay money for this book. But I have to complete the Los Lane, just like a sleepy Damien over there. So
Yes, and I don't have that issue yet. That's a
Me
bridge I
neither.
haven't hurdled yet.
I do have it, but I did not pick it.
So back to the humorous.
oh yeah, that one.
Oh, love it.
This
Talk
cover
about
is just so funny.
insensitivity.
It's Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson, and it's just the backup story is about him getting fat, and it has this fantastic. I know we're about covers, but it has this fantastic splash page.
Was it
Oh,
Bounty
man.
Boy? Is it Bounty Boy upset?
Wow.
I think the '60s Superman was really cool, but it was also about a lot of anxieties.
Yes.
getting fat or not
True.
being able to get along with your girlfriend or whatever.
Right. It's like those dreams of being in school with no pants on or something.
Exactly. Yeah. You're trying to
anxiety.
change in a telephone booth, and you're too fat for it.
Right.
I mean, how come Bouncing Boy is not suing Superman for this?
That's a good question.
Right.
I leave that to our Legion of Superhero experts.
He was in the future, so probably he didn't know him at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Superman can claim the antecedents before the Bouncing Boy, huh?
Yeah.
All
Are
right.
we already down to number 3 then?
Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3. And I changed my my treasury because of Roger. So I'm going to go with this fun one.
Perdón.
Oh, nice.
Everyone wants a ride on Superman's back.
Oh, but that's a beauty, man. That is a beauty.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
Is
always
that
a
Garcia
winner.
Lopez again?
I think it is. I think it is.
Let me tell you, the Statue of Liberty is a lot greener these days.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah.
It's
All the
more of a-
oxidation. Yeah.
Got a lot of patina.
Yeah.
So that's a fun one.
You think that's not a feature, Roger?
It's been a long time, Naman.
Been a long time. Yeah. This is
Been a
back in
long
the
time.
70s, and now that's 50 years ago, probably, or so. Okay. Yeah.
I do not know, but that's an eye grabber. There's no getting around it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Fun stuff.
Excellent.
Number 3.
All right. So thank you. I am, as everybody knows who sees my channel, I don't really like the more modern comics, but like anything else, like every rule, there are exceptions. And this is an incredible cover. You'll probably have seen it if you looked at the picture for the stream, but it is Avengers JLA number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
George Perez. I mean, can you imagine Superman, as powerful as he is, with Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer in his possession? That is just the stuff of dreams right there.
Yeah.
And this
Great cover too.
great cover. I mean, this is when DC and Marvel, when they put their heads together, they are unbeatable. And let's hope that occurs again here. I've heard that they are going to be collaborating later this year. We'll see if that works out. But this cover here, when I saw this, and again, I wasn't buying new comics at this point, but when I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's going home with me. No doubt about it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome. It's my turn. I'm going to change my direction now because of Roger. Instead of, I'm going to. Wait.
I see what you're grabbing. What are you grabbing?
Oh, I knew this was coming.
I had since he picked the Marvel versus DC. Oh, and but I've ever seen this, so I do have some special treat for you guys. You see this? You see this? I'm poking at my comic book. Right? I'm looking at it.
It's clicking. That's cool.
Ta-da!
I want
Ross
one.
Andrew. Yep.
Clear backing boards on it?
Clear backing board on both sides.
Wow.
I need those.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool
So-
stuff.
So you can see the backside.
Yeah,
especially with treasuries, that's a good thing to
That
have.
is, amazing.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
and,
hard to decide which side to show.
Yeah.
I could,
I usually stick a
I
backing
could
board
do
in the middle so that I could show
Yeah.
both.
Matter of fact, I have one book, this book right here, showing the backside. So anyway, but yeah, I just love this book.
Yeah.
I love when you're talking about that collaboration again. I'm hoping they do collaboration for this one again, reprint this size, just like they did for the
With Muhammad Ali.
Like the Muhammad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be so cool if they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
with
great
the black-
opportunity for them to do those kind of things.
Yeah.
We'll see. Jim's not too optimistic, but we'll see.
Hey. Are you muted?
Oh, we got muted.
You're muted, Damien.
Sorry, I muted myself while I was taking it out of the plastic and then forgot. And the cat was distracting me. I blame the bit Millie. So Jimmy Olsen and the wackiness of it is part of the fun of Superman. So I wanted a Jimmy Olsen cover that showed kind of that. So here's all these different versions of Jimmy, the world of 1,000 Olsens.
Yes.
So that's a lot of fun.
Oh man!
Again, something I did not appreciate as a kid. I did not appreciate Jimmy Olsen, and now I love him, or his comics anyway.
Cool.
Wow.
Is it like a Lois Lane? You have to have all of it now.
I haven't quite succumbed to wanting all of Jimmy yet. We'll see.
Okay.
First, I have to get all of Lois. I
He's
just
hooked.
pick up when I find Jimmy cheaply and I like the cover. I get it.
Wow, love it.
Are we
Elastic
on
Lag.
2? We're on 2?
2.
All right, here's a George Perez and Gaspar Saladino.
Oh, yeah.
This is from the Crisis on Infinite Earths, obviously. And Superman is crushed because his cousin sacrificed her life against the Anti-Monitor back in 1985. But like Superman always does, he sees the big picture and he does not go mental. He keeps it together.
Yeah.
And you know,
Sort of.
he sort of, but he keeps it together.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like about him. You know, at
That's
least he helps me fake it until I make it.
That's
Just
that's as good as it gets right there, man.
Good stuff.
As good as it gets.
It's a classic.
Classic.
All right, back to the Treasury, number 2. You kind of figured this artist was going to show up if you're a Legion fan, and that's Mike Grell for this cover here.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about powerful. It's a wraparound. First of all, they're all using their Legion flight ring to fly off, but of course, front and center is Superboy himself. And Cosmic Boy, the Legion flag here, being the Legion leader at the time.
Who doesn't love that Cosmic Boy outfit?
I mean, it defies all physics, but yeah, it works somehow.
Looks like he made it out of electrical tape.
Yeah, right. So maybe it's duct tape or something. But that's as classic as it gets. Mike Grell, his run on the Legion, to me, it just changed. Hit Cockrum and him moved the Legion into the future to me, because before that they looked more like Silver Age Earth, you know. Yeah. But once it gets to that, it was shiny, it was dynamic. The machinery was, you know, just as futuristic looking as could be. But this cover here is just a spectacular design.
Awesome.
Cool.
Number 2.
All right.
Good one.
Now, I told you I like Popeye before. Because we have access to Popeye in Korea. We also had access to Tarzan in Korea. And that's why I love this cover, because it gives the alternate scenario where Superboy lands in the jungle just like Tarzan did. And
he's king of the apes.
Yeah, he becomes the king of the apes. My Lord of the Jungle. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Love that cover.
You gotta love that era where, you know, that silliness, but still it has some elements of truth to it. I mean, love it. Yeah.
And matter of fact, the story is like a Tarzan story, except it's a Superboy.
Yeah.
Well, in the crossover theme, I've got the Hulk versus Superman with a painted cover by Steve Rude.
The Rude
who has
dude.
this wonderful sort of classic modern style. And it's all the interiors by Steve Rude too, so it's beautiful. But that's my number 2. I wish Steve Rude did more Superman. That would really improve the modern Superman by a lot, I think.
Wow, I didn't even know he did that. That's amazing.
He did a World's Finest type of series at one point too.
Oh,
With
okay.
Lex Luthor and all the Joker and all that.
Okay. You modern collectors, I find. You know it all. Yeah.
And we're at number 1, right?
Yeah.
Numero uno, mi amigo.
Numero uno. And this is a Neil Adams and Kurt Swan.
Love that cover.
When you guys mentioned this is always my favorite cover.
Yeah.
And
Cover in a cover. How far do you think that goes? How far does it go?
Infinite. It's infinite.
I think just 2 or 3. And the inside story is it's a story through history where they're going through the Roman Colosseum fighting, they're in the Civil War fighting, one of those timeline things. I don't know what it has to do with the barbershop, but it's great.
Isn't that where all stories originate, in the barbershop?
That's right. That's right.
Uh-huh.
So this came out in I don't know when it came out. 63?
Cool.
Sounds right.
No, I think 68. Me, I undershot. That was 68. It's
68. 12 center.
But Kurt Swan and Neil Adams together.
All right, did you have a fun cutting off Roger's hair?
I did. I did. I can't believe he's so trusting.
Well, I don't have that much to lose, Higgy. So, I figure it was worth a shot, All right, number 1. Again, Higgy and I think have a lot of similar tastes here. So this was my clear number 1. And that is, again, Crisis number 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There are a few comics that moved me emotionally, like this one did. And to lose somebody close to you is a harrowing and it's a shocking experience that I wish we didn't have to go through, but unfortunately that's life. And here, the fact that Supergirl did what she did, knowing the outcome, is just the powers is not what makes the hero. It's the courage. It's the wisdom. It's the ability to do things that go against every instinct that you have because it's the right choice to make. And that's what this comic did. And it at this point I was already in college, and I sort of changed my perspective of things after reading this, believe it or not. And was always considering that what that other person is going through may be something that I don't know about, but it may be something that that is it's so defining to them that I have to cut them a break. And so this is number 1. George Perez, Marv Wolfman. I remember the end of it when Superman is the Anti-Monitor was not defeated, but at that point they from destroying all the different worlds, and he says that the nights will be so much longer now and the days so much shorter, but I will continue on because that is the sacrifice that and the gift that was given to me. So again, number 1, very powerful, incredible story, and incredible art.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, it turns out this is my number 1. I don't know if you noticed, but I love alternate original stories. I try to do original stories. I've been trying to do original stories. This would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5th original story.
Yep.
And it's I think this is where he makes the first appearance of the green stuff. Yeah.
The green stuff? You mean Kryptonite?
No. The he's a green and yellow get up.
The
Okay.
Kryptonian wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because the other original story has where he's wearing red and orange or whatever. And
Yeah.
But it's more. Each time it has origin story, it gets fleshed out a little bit more, and so on.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I would like to do episode on these things. I tried. I did first two, then never finished it. But yeah, this is I love this particular book because it has origin stories. I love origin stories of Superman.
That's a beauty.
Beautiful, beautiful cover, actually. Love the color schemes. You're right. That green contrast with that's good stuff.
Well, and Nauman put together that great audio play we did of the origin stories. People should look for that in his old videos, right?
Oh yeah, on the news clips we did.
Based on the
Awesome
newspaper
Sydney's
version.
voice and Roger's voice and all that.
Mhm.
I get to play the evil guy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Okay, well, my final cover is with Lex Luthor and Brainiac on the cover, a classic Kurt Swan cover.
Yeah.
And I think Superman has a fantastic rogues gallery, and these are his two best, in my opinion. And they both kind of represent sort of insurmountable odds, right? There's, in one way or another, Brainiac with his overwhelming science, and Lex Luthor with both science and business behind him.
Intellect,
But Superman keeps fighting them and always wins the next battle and waits for the next one. But I just thought this is a fantastic cover with him in the little cage. Looks like it's helpless, but of course it won't be.
Excellent. I've never seen that one before either. Excellent stuff, Damon.
This is Superman 167, 12 cents, so it must still be the 60s, but
Yeah, mid-60s probably.
goes back a ways.
Wow.
Good one.
I thought Nauman would show at least one wedding cover.
Yeah.
I had to hold myself together.
It's
when
tough.
Roger and Higgy showed the cover with the Supergirl, I wanted to dig up the wedding cover where Superman was holding up Lois Lane in a wedding dress.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's it was
a nice
this
cover,
this was incredibly tough for me to parse it down to 10.
We have a bonus. You have a bonus, Higgy? You have a bonus?
Yeah, I could just show. This is an early Supergirl, and he's sending Supergirl into orbit because she was not a good Supergirl. Golden Age with Kurt Swan and Stan K. And I was so close. I wanted to show this DC Presents because Hawkman is super powered in this with a Star Stone, and he's just roughing up Superman.
You gotta have Hawkman on there.
All right, that's Dick Giordano. And there were so many. Of course, there's the old folks' home, but there's ones like this, like just fun. He's at the dentist.
Oh, the dentist. Yep.
Almost good as that bottle guy.
Yeah.
Right, and that was an evil doctor. And this is when Jimmy is trying to collect his tears at the movie theater. He went to a sad movie so he could collect his tears with the eyedropper.
Oh man.
And of course, he's chowing down all the burgers.
Oh man. Classic.
And that's a Bob Ostner.
Ostner, nice.
And I always like this one where he jumps into a space portal that's sucking up the earth, and he gets all elasticy.
Nice.
That's a Nick Hardy.
And he plays with his trade. Yes.
This is the death of Superman. This is a page from it, but I put it in plastic where he's all beat up. And this is, I'm surprised no one, I have this on record. This is the almost,
And
like
no
Neil
more
Adams
kryptonite. Yeah.
almost.
Yeah. Nice. Nice record, man. All right.
And this is the one I got. This is one of the final Superman treasuries I needed, and that's just a H.J. Ward painted cover. Oh, I want to show a more current one that I really like. Let me find it. Here it is. This is Alejandro Barrionuevo. But I really like this. This is 2007, Roger.
Oh, okay.
See, he's like there's a lot of I don't know, especially in the movies, a a lot of godly like imagery.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is, you take it or leave it. But in this story, it was really good back in the day. I remember this really grabbing me with his just his morality, just doing good for all sorts of people, and his forgiveness, and it just goes a long way. It's like this kind of Superman is like a mirror for us. We can see the best in ourselves if we try. Man,
Good point.
is like, it's really cool, man.
Good point.
And the best Superman in the movies is Christopher Reeve.
That would have been cool if it was Superman,
Absolutely.
the Angel, Thor. Oh yeah.
He does have
Oh, yeah.
a lot of savior kind of mythos around him when
Yes.
when he was created. too.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna do this one where the atom is stuck in the phone line,
Oh, classic stuff. Yeah, classic stuff.
and then this is where he's spanking the super baby for eating all the cake.
Hmm That was in my possibility stack. Yep.
Those are my runners up. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it is, man. I started with like 50, and I had to keep whittling it down. So
Yeah.
I get you, man. I get you. I have some extra.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm getting the.
Okay. So here's I only have 5 or 6 that I have out. DC Special number 29, Neil Adams cover. And
wow.
really great story here. This is like the untold origin of the JSA.
Good one.
And Superman comes in at the end and just wrecks the whole Nazi Navy. I mean, it's just great stuff.
Right.
Here's Superman Special number 1, Gil Kane, Insane in the Membrane.
Insane.
These are actually stories which were, I think, originally only published in Europe, and then they were done in these specials. So it's really stuff that's really not by the usual kind of writers, things like that.
I did not know
see,
that.
Yeah, but they see that alien guy back there.
Yeah.
Really, the pose here is just Gil Kane really at his top of his game here. And man, here's my Lois Lane that I picked. I just love this imagery here.
I love that one.
Kissing booth.
Kissing booth. I love that.
And he's got like all the lipstick on him. And
Let me ask you, Roger. Is that a kissing cover or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kissing. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look at the lipsticks.
Yeah. That's kissing cover, right?
Of course, And she's like me. Kiss a conceited show off like you. I'd rather kiss Dracula. I mean, that is just fun stuff all the way. And this one here, this is actually the death of Superboy in Legion of Superheroes number 38. And you can see that, you can't see, him, but you can tell it's him here with the flowing cape, the sunset. This is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, believe it or not.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's cool, man.
Great composition by him, I thought, here.
I don't think I had that.
Yeah. And then lastly, one of my favorite villains, like Damian had, very iconic villains, Brainiac and Lex Luthor. But I thought this guy here was one heck of a villain, the composite Superman.
Yeah, composite, yeah.
And he had all the powers of the Legion of Superheroes. So this guy is no pushover. And then you see in the background here, you see the Batman and the Superman silhouettes.
Yeah.
So I thought this was just a really great concept of a cover. And those are my 5 backups.
All right. My backup is first of all, this is one of my favorite cover.
Me too.
Okay, it's alternate origin story.
Yeah.
And this is a slab, my very, 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 very first slab that my kids got me for my, I think it was Father's Day or my birthday. I don't remember, but they gave it to me for
just being a great guy.
The story because it's covers where when the Superman rocket lands in the ocean. That's when back there were a lot of space, what do you call it, space race.
Yep.
So the two Russian and USA trying to rescue the baby's rocket. The origin story is. So that's a really cool origin story in this one. But yeah, and I know you guys saw this. Picked up this book.
Oh yeah, that's the one from
From Japan.
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 Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I haven't read it yet because it's in Japanese. I had an excuse to not read the books from 70 because I couldn't speak the English at the time, but now I have another excuse to not read the book because it's in Japanese. And somebody mentioned, why didn't we pick the
Yeah, I thought someone would pick that.
Muhammad versus Ali. Now again, this is in. I love this.
I would have picked it if I had it.
Yeah, and I do have the newer version and the blank sketch cover as well. But I love this. Again, they call it Comic Skin, comicskin.com, comicskin.com.
All right.
Yeah. What's her name? The Bronze Age babe. What's her name?
Yes.
Silver hair Bronze Age babe.
She's the one who told me about I mean, that's when I saw her video. She was using these, so I said, "Oh, I'm gonna get two of them. Put one in front, one in the back." So I know it's a little bit expensive, but now I love this cover too. By the way, don't you love this cover right here?
The Flash Superman race.
Yep.
Yep.
I wanted to. I was going to show some of those, but
I would love to get the floppy version of this because, of course, this is reprint. But
well, there's various races. I think Superman 199, Flash 175.
Yeah.
I do have a. By the way, I forgot. I do have a Muhammad Ali as a Superman record. I have a 45.
Ooh.
Muhammad Ali is a Superman, black Superman.
Wow.
You know about that?
Wow, I didn't know. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to.
So I thought I had about. I love this. Is a hilarious cover from John Byrne.
Love it.
I thought I had about 3 short boxes full of bronze and silver Superman. I discovered I had 6 boxes of bronze and silver Superman. There's so much of it, and obviously I can't resist whenever I find it for a good price.
I wanted to pick an Adam Strange one too.
It's Adam Strange.
Yeah.
Garcia Lopez was a great cover
Great
artist.
stuff. Yep.
There's a whole series of ones where Superboy feels sorry for himself.
Yep.
That's
That's beautiful Adams there.
There's a whole lot of covers where Superman meets Clark Kent.
Yeah. How does that happen?
It happens a lot. And there, the weird sand version of Superman.
Yep.
That was an ongoing thread throughout the Kryptonite No More era.
Yep. And the Sand Superman was forming nicer and more into Superman as the issues went on.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I ever read a final story about him. I don't know if I missed it or if they never really completed it. Here's one.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned Lois marrying the devil or a devil who turns out to be an alien. Spoiler, sorry. But it's a wedding cover, you know.
Yep.
And she has hooved feet.
Wow.
All the way.
Ooh.
And I forgot to look up who this artist was, but I thought this was just a beautiful classic Superman picture.
I just love it when a Superman cover includes a train. I just love it. I don't know why.
That's a this was done in what, the 80s or 90s, but it's 80s, I guess. But it's it's a timeless
Who's going to pay for that damage? I know the railroad ain't.
Taxpayers.
Here's one where Clark Kent realizes he thought he was Superman, but he's not.
Aw.
Okay.
Confusion.
And he's so incompetent, he doesn't even land in the net the fireman has. And this one, I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. And I feel like this is a young Ronald Reagan here.
Yeah.
Looks like him.
like him. Yeah.
My secret identity is.
And last but not least, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
think this cover is beautiful.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about having hooves for your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was a hilarious story where she becomes a centaur and later a horse, I think.
Wow.
Lois used to eat like a horse.
I'm
Wow.
pondering maybe I should do like 100 favorite Superman.
Yeah, we
I
could.
don't know.
Probably could. But we'd be here like 4 hours though doing it at least. So
Yeah.
And that was really fun, and it went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to go through. But I mean,
Yeah, we were all business.
yeah, man. Yeah,
why you guys like Superman so much? Each one of you.
so many reasons, right? I
Well, I
mean,
think Higgy already talked about his positivity
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's the first superhero, and I think there's a lot of power to that. He really, that he accumulates over time from
And
being
you
that-
hear, yeah, Damien, because you hear a lot of people say he's a puncher, he's a brawler, and he uses his fist to get out of every. But you're missing the point. He's so powerful. What's so good about it? That's the whole trick of it. And for years, the story writers have been doing. They've been keeping it very, very interesting and captivating for me. I mean, it's hard to do, and if it's done right, which they do, they really do, because Superman's standards are a different tier. All right. And the outcomes the goals are to not get anyone killed and to have everyone's outcome. No one gets the crap end of the stick, he always finds a way, or he tries his hardest to find a way, and if he fails, he takes it hard, and he doesn't want to fail or let people down. And with all that power he has, he wants to be a human, an earthling. He doesn't want to be above us. And that's what I like about him.
excellent, Higgy, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
He just wants to be one of the guys.
Right. It's like, what is how do I become human? How are we human? What makes us human?
Yeah.
And
Right.
and Higgy had a good point. I mean, we're talking about an alien who has no peers whatsoever. His whole planet exploded. So he does have Supergirl and things like that, but originally he did not, right?
And he has the human parent, foster parents that raise him with those morals.
That was my point exactly. That he landed somewhere where he was able to be brought up with, the love and the way to hone in who he is. Obviously, he could do whatever he wants. He has the ability, but just because you can do it does not mean you should do it. Those are two very different aspects of life, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people today, because they can do it, they do it. And sometimes, unfortunately, that leads to chaos.
Yeah.
But having that, being in that situation, an alien, who was brought up in a small town with values, and now he has to be who he has to be, because he has to have a secret identity, because otherwise his enemies would use his friends against him.
Yeah.
And Higgy is right. I mean, if he does this to anybody, they're dead. So to be able to control that it's got to, mentally, you have to be focused 100% of the time, and that's not an easy burden to carry. But he does. We were just very blessed to have somebody that was in the perfect situation. That we have those Elseworlds where he ended up in Russia and became, essentially their hitman,
Yeah.
So I think that for all those reasons, I gravitate towards him because of the incredible restraint he has.
Yeah, and he's proven himself over and over again, and you can see it even the way they write. In the other heroes, when they in the stories, he puts other heroes at ease too. They're like, all right, everything's gonna be all right. Superman's here, things are gonna work themselves out. He has that way about him.
Yeah.
Let me show you this book again. Notice how Superman is this.
Make yourself big, Nolan.
Notice why you sure you want to do this with this laws, and Superman go ahead and helps her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, Lois Lane finally asked Superman, I am black. Would you marry me if I stay black? And Superman was dumbfounded by that question. And Superman said, Lois, I'm from another planet. And I am more different than any of you guys, right? And so some people look at that and say Superman was copping out. I don't look at that as Superman copping out. Superman was actually understanding, hey, Superman understands being an alien and understand being the minority of the he's only one. I mean,
yeah,
that he's so him trying to fit in to our society, he's trying to fit into whole human society, right?
Yeah.
And what I like about Superman is he's a fellow illegal alien. Well, I came illegally, so
now you're in trouble.
But
he's a refugee of sorts.
Yeah. So
he gives us a lot of metaphorical stuff to work with, and on top of that, he's the iconic superhero, and there's so much imaginative stuff that's been built up around him that, I don't know, makes him his stories endlessly fascinating to me.
Me too.
Great. Yeah.
And another thing about Superman is that how in a lot of these other superhero series, superhero always power up. He has the villain powers up, the hero powers up, and that's the only way to make the story move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Superman is already up there. He has all the power there is. So you have to think of a different story other than just powering. Hey, I'm just kind of powering it up, leveling up my superhero.
Right.
It becomes instead of village problem, it becomes a national problem. It becomes a whole earth problem and whole universe problem, and it just keeps on building up. But he's already super, so it's like, okay, we have to come up with these different stories that connects with the common people like us. So and you have to be pretty. I mean, there's some awful stories out there for Superman.
Oh yeah,
but it does make writers to be forced. I mean, they have to force it, right? Force the story out of this, right? So
yeah, they just can't say, okay, we're gonna put the Hulk out there and he'll pummel him.
Yeah.
They have to be more imaginative, more creative, and more clever about how they put the situation in the opponent. And I hear things like, oh well, let's depower him so that we can write better stories. I think that's a major cop out. Write better stories because he's more powerful.
Right.
Not change the dynamic.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The 90s Superman with the red and blue outfits, that type of.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there was the red, and then the blue.
Yeah, Superman red, Superman blue.
He was split in two.
Yeah.
One great story. I think it was a set of like 6 books, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Superman red and blue. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-mm.
It's not has nothing to do with the red and blue costume era. It's just a great bunch of stories about him doing good things and and then I forgot why he was. I don't know if he was preparing to die or leave, but he was just going around doing nice things for people. It was just one of those good time series. Superman Red and Blue. Yeah.
Mhm.
The recent story was pretty good too. Where Superman has to go into the sun and die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
You mean All-Star Superman?
Yeah,
All-Star.
All-Star Superman.
Yeah,
That's
that was
really
good.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was
this Red and Blue reminds me of. It was something like kind of like that.
And that's quintessential Superman. He'd sacrifice himself in a moment,
Right.
you know, to save us. You know, no doubt about it. Like it
Oh.
wouldn't even be a moment's, you know, problem or confusion. It would be, let's do it.
There's a cool, I think it's called Man and Superman by Marv Wolfman that came out a few years ago, although I think he wrote it even more years back, which is all about Clark Kent's decision to become Superman. And I thought it was really well done. I don't know if anyone else has seen that.
No, I haven't.
You know,
sounds interesting.
You know, Superman was compared to Jesus, but I think he compares to Moses, right? Because
Right, the baby in the basket.
Baby in the basket. Yeah.
Down the river, and
Yeah, definitely. But
Well, I think he draws from a lot of, the Moses, Samson, Hercules.
Yep.
yeah,
well, then you got like what I was mentioning earlier about his forgiveness and not condemning people when they act so terrible, and he still has faith in his fellow man, like Jesus on the cross when he's crucified and he says, "Father, do not forgive them.
Forgive them, for they know not what they do."
yeah.
I mean, you're like, Jesus, of course, Jesus, they know what they're doing. They made a thorn crown for you. They're very premeditated, but like I said, Jesus saw the big picture, and that's what Superman kind of does throughout his storylines.
And Jesus had the power too to annihilate those guys. He could
He could
free
have
himself.
sent down all the angels.
He could, he could have a whole army come down and slaughter everybody, but he chose to sacrifice himself so that we would not be condemned.
Right.
So again, sacrifice above and all.
Yeah. Well, gents, we could probably go on and on about this, but
Well, now that we've gotten to Jesus, maybe that's a good
That's a good ending point, right?
as you can get there.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, thanks for doing this. You guys, what? We old folks get together. You want to make this a little more traditional and maybe do it sometime, some other topic. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
I think we were talking about maybe doing a commandy, more in-depth commandy.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I do wanna tackle the commandy thing. I know I know you guys got blown away by that book I found.
Yeah, I'm reading through it and it's spectacular. So we'll talk in the threads and we'll come up with a topic that all of us can agree to.
Well, another thing that I want to cover on is that it's related to Superman.
Mhm.
I think Superman derived from. I personally believe Superman derived from John Carter of Mars, and that's a really interesting. To me, John Carter of Mars, where we're going.
Yeah, he was an alien on Mars. Yeah.
Alien on Mars,
And he was very powerful there. Yeah.
Because of gravity differences, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, sounds interesting.
Yeah. So that's anyway. So Commandy, it's Commandy. Next one. All right. Hey, chat. I appreciate all the people in the chat room coming up. We appreciate you.
Lots of great comments. Lots of great people here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.